Well, hello there. It's April. Welcome back. It is day number 12 in my 30 days of exposing my truth. Today, the truth I'm exposing is I have had major resistance come up, and I had to overcome it around really owning my unique work in the world, and specifically around my marketing message. So I don't know how many times I have changed my LinkedIn profile messaging, how many times, like 50 times, I've changed the homepage copy on my website, just trying to get it just right. Because it just, I was like close, but I wasn't quite landed on expressing what I do. If that's happened to you, I believe this message is going to be a blessing for you because I'm about to go deep on what's causing this. It's been a huge breakthrough for me. So let me talk to you about resistance, overcoming resistance. It could be around your brand messaging. Anytime that we choose to get out of our comfort zone or to grow our business to the next level, or to go speak on stage, or to write that book, or anything that we're changing where we're growing significantly to the next level, there is a negative, invisible force that causes self-sabotage to hold us back. It's called resistance. And it happens with every single entrepreneur, every business owner. It happens with anybody, really. So, I want to share with you a photo of me as Marilyn Monroe. I used to be a celebrity lookalike for Marilyn Monroe. I used to be hired to perform as Marilyn. More about this soon. Hang with me because I'm going to talk about identity, which was the root cause of my problem. So, before I go into that, resistance can show up as negative thoughts. Let me give you some examples. Things like thinking, who do you think you are? You're not qualified to do this, or everything's already been done before, or let's wait and do this tomorrow, or maybe no one really cares about your ideas. That is resistance, and it's a lie. It's not true. You know, as I mentioned before, one major way that resistance has shown up in my business, there's been more than one, multiple ways, is my marketing message was too generic. It was too broad. It was too watered down. And I ended up sounding like a lot of other coaches and consultants in the industry. It caused me to be overlooked by my ideal clients. It's like being hidden in plain sight. And it really slowed down the growth of my business. And I knew it was happening, but I didn't know what was causing it or how to change it, right? So let me share with you how I overcame this resistance. And you know, the crazy part about this is one of my greatest strengths is helping other business owners wordsmith their messaging and really nail that. And I want you to know that it's common that whatever you teach, you're good with doing that with other people, but it's usually can oftentimes be very hard for you to see it for your own business or for your own self. So that's pretty common. All right, here's how I finally overcame and broke through this resistance, and how you can break through resistance too, no matter what it was. The very first step to all lasting change is to make a decision. Not an on-the-fence decision where you're saying, I hope this changes. Make a firm decision to change. So that was the first step. I made a firm decision to just get out of my own way and go with the final version of my messaging and leave it alone. No more wasting time. Like I said before, I probably changed my website and LinkedIn profile, the messaging and the copy 50 times over the last couple of years. I had to stop the madness. So I just made a decision. I'm done. I'm just going to go with something and stick with it. The second thing that occurred, once I made the decision, I had an idea that came to mind that I've not thought of before. I had an idea to go back and look at my notes from 4 years ago when I had worked and hired 2 different coaches to help me on my messaging. I had not looked at those notes or that messaging in 4 years. Literally, I just saved it on my computer and never went back to it, and certainly never used it. So that's what I did. I took the step. I got the idea, took the step, and I went and looked at that messaging. This time when I read it, there was something about it that just felt right. It resonated with me. It resonated. So you may be wondering, like I was, so why didn't you just go with that messaging 4 years ago instead of wasting all this time and changing it 50 times? Let me tell you why. Number one, I could not receive it 4 years ago because I was still wearing my old identity. I had not fully owned my worth, and I certainly hadn't fully owned my unique work in the world. That's why. You see, we can't see our journey and how far we've come if we are still wearing the old identity of who we used to be. I had to shed the old identity, and by the way, this was my old identity. This is who I used to be. This was a picture of me many years ago with my first two kids. I was the struggling single mom who was an amateur. And I was still living and operating out of that old identity. And identity is a set of beliefs that you have about yourself that are fundamentally not true. But we believe it. I'm not going to go into detail around what identity is and how it gets linked up. That's for a whole nother conversation. I had to stop being this old version of me. I had to let go of this old identity and become the new identity of who I truly am. Okay? The new identity is the confident professional who is an authority on my topic. And I had to shift that identity to become my future self now in order for me to even be able to see or recognize my work and to claim my unique work in the world, to really step into that and own it. And the second reason why I didn't go with that wording back then, 4 years ago, is because I was afraid to talk about fame, and I was afraid about saying too much about building wealth in business because I was afraid it would be polarizing. Some people might reject that and say something negative about it or reject me, right? And I was worried about what people might think. Because let me just say this, fame is not that important to me at this stage in my life. Becoming well known is important because I know that I have something that can genuinely help people solve a problem. And there's a big difference. There's a big difference in that. So I want you to hear me out on this. Fame and being well known in your business niche or in your industry or on your topic or in your field, it has a higher purpose. It's not about ego or trying to prove your worthiness or anything like that at all. But it's because God wants to do something through you. That's why you need to be well known. And that's why you need to prosper. So you can have more to give, to be more generous, to take care of your family, and to just enjoy your life. So that is my perspective on it. And I can tell you now at this stage, I'm also not going to hold back I'm also not going to be held back by fear anymore. I just made a decision to just be me and express my truest self and what I believe and let go of pleasing everyone. That was a huge breakthrough in my life. And so with that said, I want to share with you my new messaging. This was messaging that I literally worked on 4 years ago, but I've never even shared it because I wasn't ready for it. I did make some tweaks, but this is my final messaging. This is what I do as a motivational speaker and also a consultant for purpose-driven entrepreneurs. I am a motivational speaker and an innovative marketing and sales strategist. I help purpose-driven entrepreneurs build more fame and a highly profitable business as a thought leader and speaker. If you want to become a highly magnetic speaker and famous thought leader, but you don't know how, or you feel trapped by your own perfectionism, I can help you to overcome those obstacles and build a massive tribe of high-paying clients who adore you and buy from you regularly so that you can make a much bigger impact and create massive personal wealth to go change the world, and without sacrificing your freedom or your family time. That is really what I'm here to do. And I am so grateful that God guided me to this aha moment to recognize that I needed to finally just put my stake in the ground and own that. So you may be wondering, what does this picture of Marilyn Monroe have to do with this message about overcoming resistance and messaging and all of that? Well, I have lived my own message. The work that I do, I've lived it. I literally went from being a completely unknown single mom, struggling, barely getting by, making $9 an hour, living in a small town, to becoming known in my niche. With God's grace and perseverance, I went from being, like I said, unknown and generating $9 million in sales in 1 year. From there, I created my own 15 minutes of fame with getting small acting roles as a paid actress in TV commercials locally, national TV shows that were aired on national television. I've been featured in national major, a couple of movies where I was an extra in the movie. I was also a celebrity lookalike for Marilyn Monroe in my mid-20s and early 30s. I invented a product, was seen by millions on TV, on the TV show Shark Tank. I've been in lots of publicity on the cover of 2 magazines for business success. And I've been a paid speaker on stages across the United States. And it has been an amazing journey. And I've been able to build a profitable expert business that truly serves. So what I know for sure is I'm here to guide, to be a trusted mentor and consultant for other entrepreneurs who want to use their voice and gifts to impact lives and prosper, to become well known. I'm here to help people on that journey, just the similar journey that I've been on. And so that is all I wanted to share today. I hope that this has been inspiring for you. And I just want to encourage you, if you have ever struggled with resistance that's shown up in your life in any form, you can overcome this. You can do this. It's time to break through it and grow to the next level. It's because you have a very important calling for your life, and it's time to go beyond that, to shed that old identity and step into your future self right now. I'll see you soon. Bye.